Welcome back, everybody. You're watching the #1 home improvement YouTube channel in the entire world. Today, I am back inside this addition, working on the walls. In most recent videos, you saw me working on the outside portion, the expensive portion of this project. Today, I'm putting drywall on the walls of this mudroom. It is about 5 feet wide by 30 feet long. That works out to about the same square footage as your average bedroom. So I'm doing this all by myself. I'm going to try to make it easy. I'm screwing a ledger board onto the wall to make it easy to install full 4x8 sheets of drywall on the wall by myself. Pretty simple process. Just 2 deck screws. You measure about 48 inches plus a little bit down from the ceiling, and you kind of lift it up into place and throw a screw in it. Pretty simple. Now you can see this has a very nice cedar tongue and groove ceiling. If you're interested in seeing how I installed that, there is a playlist down in the description of this video. It goes over every single step to build this addition and outdoor living space. It started many months ago with tearing down a pergola, excavating for a foundation. I rented a mini excavator and I mixed over 180-pound bags of concrete with a mixer and poured it into the forms that I made. All those videos are in a playlist. It'll be linked in the description and a pinned comment. I'll put it up in the first pinned comment so it's easy to find. On larger drywall jobs, I will rent a drywall lift. It's this mechanical device that you can rent from Home Depot or any rental center. You bring it home, you assemble it, it's got wheels on it, and it helps you lift drywall very high up in the air. On like 9-foot, 10-foot ceilings, it's a must-have if you're doing it by yourself. It also works for putting drywall up on the walls. So keep that in mind if you are doing a larger job by yourself. Right here I am cutting out for a receptacle. Usually I just measure where the receptacle is. I'll put marks on the floor, or in this case actually just put marks on the stud, because you always have to have your drywall lined up on a stud. And just measure over, mark it out on the drywall, and cut it out with a multi-tool. It's been working good for me for the last 10 years. Once you got your hole, you just kind of pull it out through the hole. Wire's still intact, electricity still flowing. Pop the ears on the outside of your hole and then screw it back into the box. Some of you might be wondering, how do I plan on finishing the transition between the ceiling and the drywall? Well, that's going to get just some trim, some wood trim. I know some people are definitely concerned about that gap down in the comments already. Oh, the mustache is gone. Holy cow. Thought that thing would never leave. Well, a lot of times when I'm installing drywall, I will get the majority of it up on the wall. Get the thinking part over with and all the measuring, and then go back and screw it all into the studs. Most all the drywall is completed on this wall, that wall, and back there. The next major task is joining the garage with this bedroom. And right here is the old exterior wall. Right here. Two walls joined together. And I want to span that with a large piece of drywall. I do not want to joint here, don't want to joint here, don't want to joint here. I want it to, well, we'll see. Maybe either come to here or here, and then piece in there and piece in there, so that this transition is smooth. What you're seeing me remove here is the old exterior siding. It might seem a little counterintuitive as to why I left it up there so long, but on a large project like this, where I'm doing all phases of construction, I tend to go after the challenging portions or the unknowns, get things figured out. This here is a pretty simple task, just ripping off old siding. So that's why it was left in place until all the difficult stuff was taken care of. All the math, the figuring. Now I'm just tearing it off and putting up drywall. So this little part of the project here, tearing off this OSB from this old exterior wall, it's now an interior wall. It looks like it took me, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. The reality is this took me 2 hours to get this short section of OSB off those studs. Through the magic of editing, I made it look real easy. But it was very difficult. Took forever. And these coated ring shank nails are essentially nails that are glued in to these studs. There we go. Once you get them to pop, then they can come out. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And just like that, that whole wall section is covered with drywall. Not sure what happened to that video footage. I even used that access, that open wall access, to install another receptacle inside the house. Keep in mind, this used to be the exterior of the house. It's now kind of an interior wall. I pulled out the insulation, used that access to run wire to put a receptacle for a future smart toilet. Yes, this house will probably be getting one of those disco toilets in the future, and it was the perfect opportunity to run the wiring in the exposed wall to get that ready for the, the toilet disco parties. So right here I'm just cutting the corner bead. Pre-cutting all, what is that, 4, 5, 6 pieces, and then I'll come back and show you how I attach it. I haven't seen too many people attach corner bead like the way I do it. Drop a comment below and let me know if you do it the same way I do. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. See you soon.